Hey guys, this is Nintendo Cloud, and you know what time it is. It's Nintendo time. So for this episode of Nintendo Time, I wanted to talk about a very credible and reliable topic. So, as you all know, with Nintendo, they basically created and started the line of Nintendo Console Classic Editions. As you all know, in 2016, we were greeted with the Nintendo NES Classic Edition, which came with 21 games pre-installed on the console. It looked exactly like the 80s version, except with 21 or 22 games pre-installed on the console. And then later, later in the 2 years, Nintendo and the fans thought that it was a very good idea. So Nintendo decided to make themselves a Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic Edition, which blew the NES Classic Edition out of the water. It's 25 games were pre-installed and multiplayer games like Super Mario Kart and Super Mario World. So the topic that we're going to be talking about today is how and when will we get an N64 or also known as a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console. So I think honestly the most credible leaks themselves the have to go to the leakers themselves, because they've announced so many new things. So as you all know, PlayStation or Sony recently released a original PlayStation Classic Edition. So I think that this was a nice touch to the Classic Edition consoles, just because of how everybody knows that everybody loves their old games like the original Xbox, the NES, the SNES, the Nintendo GameCube, the Nintendo 64, and the PlayStation 1 and 2. So I think that Sony made a great choice on making a PlayStation Classic Edition, hitting stores near you on December 3rd, 2018. Its release date approximately 22 years ago. So back to the main topic at hand. So a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console, when and how will we get one? Well, I'm saying, in my experience of these leaks themselves, I would, number one, expect it to be announced somewhere around next year, sometime near June E3 of 2019, near the holiday season. It really does matter when it is announced, because if it's announced per se 2 days before Christmas, and some kid wants the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console, it's announced 2 days before Christmas Day themselves. And the child will not be able to get that console on Christmas Day, instead on another day next year. So, in my personal opinion, I think that the release date and the announcement of a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console is actually very important and very credible to how it is announced. Now, I think the most viable reason is it will be announced at E3 2019 June and July. Why do I think this? Because 2019 for Nintendo said themselves is supposed to be a very big year for Nintendo, and what else to kick it off? And I need to put this on the stop button, and this E3 presentation with none other than a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console. So as we all know, now I'm not 100% sure if the NES Classic Edition console or the Super Nintendo Entertainment System was in fact released on its original release date in the 80s and in the 90s. But the PlayStation Classic Edition was announced just a few weeks ago, almost a month ago. It is going to be releasing on December 3rd of 2018. Be sure that you guys go pick one up. So if an N64 Classic Edition console is announced, when, as I said, it will most likely be announced on June or July of 2019, because as said, Nintendo themselves saying that 2019 is supposed to be a very big year for Nintendo company themselves. So why not start it off or end off the E3 presentation with none other than a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console. So how will this be presented to us, and how it is presented to us? What information will we get about it when it is announced? So how it's announced, I personally think it would be smarter of Nintendo to announce the console at the end of the 2019 E3 presentation, just because I think it's a very great way to kick off to end E3 2019 season. And what games will and what information will be shared with us at E3 2019. So I think that the information shared with us, or will be shared with us, or even if they're planning on developing a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console, are that games that will be on the console are most likely going to be Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's got to have Super Smash Bros. 64. All of those amazing games have to be on the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console, because one main reason is because they are most of our childhoods, and two, we've had so much experience with them in the past. I think that it will be very great to have them once in our living rooms, bedrooms, even smaller now. So before I end the video off here, what other random information will be shared with us if Nintendo themselves is planning to in fact release a Nintendo 64 Classic Edition console? Well, I personally think that the information shared will be, 1, the release date, 2, games included, and 3, multiplayer games and third-party games if possible. So why do I think that third-party games on the Nintendo 64 Classic Edition game console will be a huge advantage to Nintendo themselves, is probably going into, because nowadays third-party games are a basic essential part to a game console, such as the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 Pro, and the Xbox One X. And I just think that third-party support, yes, it was a 90s console, but still, it would be nice to have this one finally third-party support on our Nintendo 64 Classic Edition consoles. So games included, I already made a small list: Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, and Super Smash Bros. 64, Mario Party 64, Mario Party 2, 3. I think that just before I end the video off here, one, thank you guys so much for watching. It really does help my channel out a lot if you watch and like and subscribe and comment on my videos. You guys do not know how much this helps and prospers with my channel into the future. As you all know, comment and be sure to click that subscribe button and Super Smash Bros. That like button. And as I said at the beginning, Nintendo time. As I said, it's that time. It's Nintendo time. As I said, that new series will be on my channel. Rarely every 2 to 4 videos, I will make a special classic video on updates about about Nintendo stuff, updates, news, demos, E3s, games, all of that stuff. You know what time it is. It's officially Nintendo Times series has been officially launched on my channel today. So be sure that you guys comment and subscribe and Super Smash Bros. That like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.